You know, Ilia Topuria is talking about coming to 155, and you're like, I'm tired of these little people coming up to fight me.
Not make sense. Give the chance third time from the same guy. Okay, I beat the Volkanovski twice. People still say you beat small guy.
Yeah.
It's not your weight division. If I beat Topuria, it's gonna be the same. Everybody gonna talk same. If I
go up,
go up, takes a second belt. This is a legacy.
But, you know, one of your friends, you guys are teammates, you and Bilal.
Honestly, Bilal killed my plan, you know.
Yeah.
We become like close friend. We have same manager. Nobody would know what's gonna be in the future, you know. I just have same dream.
Yeah.
I want to be double champ. I want to be like you know. Champ. How many? 11 times defend your belt.
You're on your way, man. You're on your way.
Ilia Topuria has been turning into a true phenomenon in the MMA world over the past few months, and the Georgian fighter is now chasing Islam Makhachev in hopes of making his UFC legacy even greater. Despite Topuria's desire, it's pretty clear that Makhachev doesn't want that fight and is doing everything he can to avoid stepping into the octagon with the lightweight division's newest sensation. Let's take a look at what other fighters are saying about this, and whether or not they believe Islam Makhachev is actually afraid of facing Topuria. First up, check out what Michael Bisping had to say about this potential matchup. Bisping made it clear that, in his opinion, a fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev would be way more exciting than any other matchup in the lightweight division, including a fight with Charles Oliveira. To Bisping, the UFC needs to take advantage of the fact that Topuria is now a full-blown star and make this fight happen as soon as possible.
So the question is, who is Ilia Topuria going to fight? Islam Makhachev says that he needs one more. Khabib Nurmagomedov says that he needs one more. A lot of people kind of feel like that, and a lot of people in the lightweight division that have been working so hard for years might take offense to that. But look at what Conor McGregor did. He soared through the featherweight division, knocked out Jose Aldo, came up to 155 and fought for the belt straight away and knocked out Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205 in probably the best performance of his career. So we've seen this happen before, and it might happen again. And ultimately, if the UFC want to make this fight, I don't think Islam Makhachev would turn it down. I don't think he would kick up a fuss over it. He's not going to throw his toys out of the pram and start crying and talking shit. He'd be like, okay, I would have preferred it if he fought someone first. I would have preferred it if he proved himself in this division, because of course Islam, from his perspective, if he just beats a featherweight like he did against Volkanovski 2 times in a row, people will look for a way to minimize the greatness of what he would have achieved. I have no issue whatsoever with Topuria fighting Islam Makhachev for the belt, and I still think there is a good chance of that happening, because right now, Topuria has the momentum behind him. He's got the knockout power. I mean, everything he said has come true. All these people talking shit, saying that the downfall is going to be glorious. Well, when we're yet to see it, he's backed it up every single step of the way. He's got beautiful technique, crisp boxing, amazing wrestling, high-level jiu-jitsu, an incredible athlete, and he's a fantastic ambassador for the sport. The man is an absolute class act. And if he was to lose to a Charles Oliveira, then the UFC potentially and the world might never get to see Topuria fight Islam Makhachev for the belt. And I think that would be a blockbuster fight. I think Topuria versus Islam Makhachev would be bigger than Gaethje, would be bigger than Oliveira.
Now here's what Alexander Volkanovski had to say about this possible fight. Having fought both men, the former featherweight champion has unique insight into what could unfold in a showdown between these two MMA stars.
Can Ilia catch him? You know, that's what is, and he definitely can. Ilia's very, especially with his approach, he really backs his strike and his boxing. He really knows that he will eventually find the chin, and he's stoic till that happens. You know what I mean? He is on task, and he doesn't, you know what I mean? He'll go, even if things aren't working, he's still going to try and find it. So I think Islam's going to be a tough matchup for him, because Islam can be quite defensive and safe. I think he's going to know he needs to play it safe with Ilia, because he knows Ilia's going to have that puncher's chance. But I just think them later rounds, you know, is going to be very difficult for Ilia. So, but Ilia can, if he puts hands on anyone, like if he traps them, you know, gets them where they don't want to be and lands a nice big shot, it's going to be game over. You know, I mean, he can knock out anyone, even in the lightweight division. But yeah, I just believe that probably would be his only chance, just from what I've seen, right? Like you hear about him having really good grappling, and you hear things, and you won't know till I see that at the highest level. So if he starts out grappling Islam or stop and takedown defense and things like that, then I'm going to be like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing something that I haven't really seen. So now then my opinion might change within the first round. But yeah, I haven't really seen that, so I'm going to go with what I know, and I know he can hit hard. I felt it firsthand. Like, well, I didn't feel, actually, I don't remember it.
Demetrious Johnson, who recently trained with Islam Makhachev, also shared his honest opinion on the potential clash. He made it clear that this would be one of the biggest fights the UFC could put together right now.
You know, we haven't really seen Ilia off his back or submitting people left to right, but I know he's a very good wrestler. He has some good grappling. You know, we haven't seen Ilia fight anybody off, put people on their back, pass their guard. I mean, he does pass guard, but he tends to go about his fights by knocking people out, right? And I believe that's what he's going to try to do when he fights Islam, where Islam has proven his time and time again of submitting the best of the best black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, who've submitted other people in the division. So I think that is not going to be the route that Ilia Topuria goes when he fights Islam Makhachev. But, you know, you never know. We'll have to wait and see when those guys link up and see what route Ilia Topuria takes to try to beat Islam Makhachev. Yeah, I think anybody can be beaten, you know. When it comes down to actually like fighting, there's a lot of stuff that goes in it. Is an athlete injured? Is an athlete overtrained? How is his conditioning? You know, all those things can be a factor. And, you know, I think him and Armin Sarukin, they were having some back and forth in the grappling exchange. And, you know, obviously Islam beat him. So for what I see, he's a very hard worker, very dedicated, very strategic. You know, he has Habib working with them and all the rest of the amazing team in Eagle MMA. So I think it's just going to be down to, you know, who's going to be able to execute their game plan. That's what I feel like anybody can be beaten any given day. It's just about who shows up and who's able to execute and who's on fire that night.
There's no doubt Ilia Topuria has elite-level boxing. And, like Volkanovski pointed out, the Georgian has the power to knock out anyone in the lightweight division. However, even though Topuria hasn't really showcased his wrestling and grappling in the octagon yet, many are saying his ground game is just as sharp as his striking. And that's definitely a concern for Islam Makhachev. Sure, the reigning champ has his grappling game as a key weapon in his arsenal, but if Ilia Topuria's ground skills are as good as people claim, Islam might lose one of his biggest advantages in that fight, which makes the matchup even more intriguing and exciting for the lightweight division. So yeah, guys, the MMA world is definitely hyped about a possible fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. Still, the Russian champ seems determined not to give the Georgian a shot, and that's led some to wonder if Islam might actually be a little hesitant to take this fight. But what do you think? Who would win in a matchup between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can talk about it. If you're a true MMA fan and want to stay updated on everything going on in the fight world, you've got to check out these 2 other videos popping up on the screen. They're super important, and I'm absolutely sure you'll enjoy them. And stay on top of the latest news from the MMA world. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help spread the content. See you next time.